Here's some jokes about talent. After my screen test, the director clapped his hands and yelled, "She can't talk, she can't act, and she's sensational." That's by someone else. I didn't write that joke. Some people think a juggler is talented. Could be a schizophrenic playing catch. I know this guy who's a gift to humanity. But so is Kaopectate. We've all been blessed with God-given talents. Mine just happens to be beating people up. I know a guy who plays a pretty good piano. It's a Steinway. If it wasn't for my faults, I'd be perfect. This woman is sitting in a bar wearing some sort of tube top. She has never shaved her armpits in her entire life, so as a result, she has a thick black bush under each arm. Every 20 minutes she raises her arm up and flags the bartender for another drink. This goes on all night. The other people in the bar see her hairy armpits every time she raises her arm up. And at the end of the evening, this drunk at the end of the bar says to the bartender, "Hey, I'd like to buy the ballerina a drink." The bartender replies, "She's not a ballerina. What makes you think she's a ballerina?" The drunk says, "Any girl who can lift her leg that high has to be a ballerina." Ho, 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 ho. We've all been blessed with God-given talents. Mine just happens to be beating people up. Oh, I think I already said that one. I'm reading this from a book, you know. The income tax has made more liars out of American people than golf has. I don't know why they couple death and taxes. You only die once. Of the two basic certainties, death and taxes, death is preferable. At least you're not called in 6 months later for an audit. When Joe Louis was asked who had hit him the hardest during his boxing career, he replied, "That's easy, Uncle Sam." I wouldn't mind paying taxes if I knew they were going to a friendly country. How about that one? That's a funny one. Cordless phones are great if you can find them. Now they've got a stereo that gives real concert hall sound. Every 2 minutes it coughs and rattles a program. A guy is walking down the street and passes a hardware store advertising a sale on a chainsaw that is capable of cutting 700 trees in 7 hours. The guy thinks that a great deal and decides to buy one. The next day he comes back with the saw and complains to the salesman that the thing didn't come close to chopping down the 700 trees. The ad said it would. "Well," says the salesman, "let's test it out back." Finding a log, the salesman pulls the starter cord and the saw makes a great roaring sound. "What's that noise?" asked the guy. The guy asked him, "What's that noise?" That's a funny one. Smith was a man of cold facts, a scientist, a computer jock, and a confirmed atheist. He became somewhat obsessed with the desire to prove the truth. So he mortgaged his house and sold his car in order to put a down payment on the most powerful computer commercially available. Then Smith plugged it in every databank in the world, accessed every library in the United States and Europe, and had the machine scan every book published since the invention of the printing press. Finally, Smith sat down at the console, took a deep breath, and typed, "Is there a God?" The monitor flickered, the hard drives clicked, and up on the screen came the words, "There is now." I don't see why religion and science can't cooperate. What's wrong with using a computer to count our blessings? That's a funny one. I like that one. What do you call a genetic engineering company? I don't want to say that one. That's too ethnic. How do they know computers existed in biblical times. Because Eve had an apple and Adam had a wang. Well, that's enough jokes for tonight. Well, this is the man from the dark. I'll be back.